Right, we're doing question 8a now. The numbers 7, x, y are in a geometric sequence. If the sum of these three numbers is negative 2x minus 7, determine the possible values of x and y. Interesting. We're finding the values of x and y. So it means here we have to create two equations and solve the equations simultaneously. Right, if you check here, we're given two pieces of information. We're given these three terms which are in a geometric sequence, and we're given that the sum of these three terms is what? Is negative 2x minus 7. So we have to create equations using these two pieces of information. The first one, we know that for a geometric sequence, R, which is the ratio, the common ratio, is equal to T2 divided by T1. Not a bigger term divided by a smaller term, no, it's T2 divided by T1, which is equal to T3 divided by T2. You see that? So here it means that when using our sequence here, we can say that x over 7 is equal to y over x. You see that? And then we can just try to simplify this equation. When it looks like a fraction like this, when it is a fraction like this, it doesn't look nice, isn't it? Let's just cross multiply here. So we can say 7 times y is 7y is equal to x times x, which is x squared. So now we can even isolate y here, divide by 7 on both sides of the equation. So y is equal to x squared divided by 7. This is our equation number 1. Okay, we have created the first equation. Right, and then the second piece of information says, if we add these three terms, we must get negative 2x minus 7. So we're saying 7 plus x plus y is equal to negative 2x minus 7. Okay, we can simplify our equation so that it looks nice. So we can say 7 plus x plus 2x plus y plus 7 is equal to 0. We've just moved this to the left hand side, to the left hand side. So we can collect like terms and add like terms here. So we can say, let's start with the x. So it's going to be 3x because 1x plus 2x is 3x there. And then plus y. And then the constant 7 plus 7, which is 14. See that? And then is equal to 0. Okay, we can even isolate y here and make y the subject. So you can say y is equal to negative 3x. We're transposing 3x to the right hand side, and then minus 14. This is equation number 2. Okay, so now we have our equation number 2 and equation number 1. So we can solve these two equations simultaneously. Okay, we have our two equations, which is equation 1 and equation 2. So now we know what y is. We can substitute this y value into equation number 2. So we can say substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So it's going to be what? Where there's y here, we put x squared divided by 7. So x squared divided by 7 is equal to negative 3x minus 14. And then what do we do? What we do after that? We multiply everything by the lowest common denominator here, which is 7. We multiply everything by 7. So it's going to be x squared is equal to negative 21x minus 98. Then this is a quadratic equation. We have to write it in standard form before we factorize it, or even using the quadratic formula. You can use the quadratic formula, but we have to write it in standard form first. So it's going to be x squared plus 21x plus 98 is equal to 0. That's the 0 principle there. And then we're looking for the factors of positive 98 that will give us 21. It should be 7 and 14. 7 and 14. So we're saying, so it's going to be x plus 7, x plus 14 is equal to 0. So we can use the quadratic formula here. If, let's say, factorization gives you problem, you can use x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all this over 2a. You can use that. Right, so we get that x is equal to negative 7 or x is equal to negative 14. Right, and then we can find the y because they said we find the values of x and y. So we need to find the y values. So we're going to use this equation here. So y is equal to x squared over 7. So if x is negative 7, it's going to be y is equal to negative 7 squared divided by 7, which is y is equal to 7 there. And then the other one, or y is equal to negative 14 squared divided by 7. Negative 14 squared. Okay, we can divide one of the 14s by 7. We get 2. 2 times 14 is going to get, we're going to get 28. Okay, but you can find the square the 14 first and then divide by 7. You're still going to get 28. So these are the values of y, and these are the values of x and the values of y. We have managed to solve and find the values of x and y. Okay, let's meet when we do question 8b.